Okay, let me go back over here. Okay, so So all the activities we're going to do for this section, for this little chapter, are, hey, we had these plans. This has come up. Can we do it at a different time? And then we'll extend the conversation now in this chapter a little bit further than we have in the past, where we'll say, oh, can't do that. How about this? Oh, so counter offer, right? So we'll practice these. We'll do some of this in class. There's a couple of example dialogues that are handy to practice. So if you go through and figure out, first of all, make sure you know all the signs, all the vocab, and we'll go through it right now. But then just practice this to sort of get a feel for it. Sometimes reading the gloss is a bit weird to get used to. So eventually it'll all start to feel right. Oh, my, right? Telephone me. Remember we used this one for to call as opposed to this, right? Called me. You'll see this as well, but this is much more deaf appropriate, ASL appropriate. Now, I'm going to add in, I think it is much clearer to add in a pronoun, a description of, a point to where that school is. And so it can agree with this, right? You're going to come right from the school to you. And that just sets it up clearer that that's where the school is. Camera, it's not very wide. Go away. And it doesn't necessarily, like in English, mean to go away. It just means to leave. So you're here at work, and there's your daughter's school. So you're going to go and pick her up. So clearly this is a dialogue happening like at work or some other location where you're about to turn to, you're talking to a coworker and saying something. So here, school, they called me, they told me, I gotta go home. So you're asking the coworker, do you mind if I go? Our dinner will postpone. Let me pause this for just a second. Okay. Sorry, it was freezing, and I think it was because I had a few too many tabs open, or too many programs, although it looks like it's doing it again. Anyway, so really or truly, Really? And remember, the plus plus means repeated a couple times. Wow. Wow is well, good, like, oh, that's awful, right? Or you might see, ooh, it's terrible. Oh, oh, poor thing. Pity. Oh, poor thing. So when we see future Thursday, it means sort of the next Thursday in time. If we do next week, maybe next week Thursday, um, it literally means the next week. These two might be the same things depending on what day of the week it is, but this would just mean how about on Thursday? Um, better, better. It's like good, but it kind of wipes up better, better. Um, and again, question. Well, Thursday, Thursday. It it's a question mark because it's a topic. You're thinking, oh, Thursday, yeah, 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 perfect, right? Um, you could go. It could be a complete negative. No, Thursday's bad for me. It could be cool. All right. So that kind of dialogue, hopefully, it makes sense. Hopefully, it's once you start signing it, it'll feel a little bit more natural. The other thing too with these is you can always a really good practice is to switch out little things like, is it your son's school? Is it your son's job called you? Um, uh, Changing we to eat, change it to we to go out or go to Hamilton, right? So even if you look at the sentence as a thing and just change out one concept for different vocab, it's a really good practice to get used to doing different things. It gives you a wider variety of sentences sort of in your back pocket. Um, all right, so that's that. I need to. Okay. Thursday, fine. So here are a couple other things. Oh, I wanted to go back one actually. Hold on. So we've got future Thursday, right? So the next Thursday on the calendar, depending on what day today is. Next week Thursday, 2 weeks Thursday, and you can change for any day, right? So a lot of it depends on what day of the week it is currently, which you would use. I've also seen next, and this, if you wiggle the fingers, it extends it. So this is next, the very next. It a little bit on Thursday. This could be like next week Thursday. So that idea that it's time moves forward, so further forward in time. Right. Other ways to decline. They sign stuck. Right. It's like a two-pronged thing. Stuck. I have no time. Car. I have no car. I don't have time. Um, I don't know what the etc. stands for. Um, so if someone's going to change, now I can't. I can't. Or impossible or not possible. I must. So remember, if it's insistent, oh, I should go home. A little bit less insistent. That's insistent. Oh, I have to work versus I really should work. Right? Or any other verb. Um, can later. Can. We've seen later, like the clock dial later. Later. And you can even be more specific. Time 7, right? Or tonight. And then goes right. Better not me. And you could, oh, better not. Maybe we'll be out late. You'll be in trouble. If someone asks, like, would you mind if we go later? You're like, oh, do it your, go yourself, go by yourself, right? And it's self. We've seen you, me, and you, the singular pronoun. There's my and your, right? So we've got the possessive pronoun singular. Right? Um, and now we're adding self, self. And I've also seen self come backwards, whichever is easier for you, whatever feels more comfortable, self or self. So, oh, better go yourself. I don't want you to wait for me. I'm stuck. So self, you, your. Look at my hand. Um, so now again, we're just. Oh, it's not identify the ailment. Are you going to do me? Oops, me a favor? Question mark. Okay. Um, so just more activity, but this is a good thing to practice. And as I was saying, switching out individual signs. Let's just take a look at one of these sentences, sign it once, and then do it again and switch out one. So give a reason. Call. I have to go. Do you mind? Do you mind going with me, or do you mind going? I'm supposed to go, or I'm supposed to work now, but family called me. Have to go home. Do you mind replacing me? Mind? Or do you mind going home and eating dinner with my family? Do you mind helping me? Help me, right? Or help that person? Um, customer. Like, I really have to go to the bathroom. Do you mind helping the next customer? Um, and then any of the other like tasks, shoveling, pickup, pickup or pickup. We've talked about space. We've used it a bit. Um, there's a really good practice exercise you can do to sort of get used to using these two spaces. One of which is to show pick up and drop off. So I'm going to pick someone up and drop them off. Right? Pick some up, drop them off. So, so pick up from one location, drop off at another, and come back home to a third. Home base usually is center. So that's a good thing to practice, is getting used to like going back and forth between these two. You can do multiple. Two is a good way of practicing. Um, close that show. La, la, la. So a good way of setting that up is define what that place is: work, class, school, home, something. Go pick them up, and then you're going to go over to here, and then you introduce the new thing: school, work. Um, so lots of different activities you can do. This is going to jump me back one. There. And a couple more. Meeting, appointment. So meeting is a bunch of people all coming together around a central point, right? Meeting or conference. Appointment is a locked in time, right? You've reserved that time. That's my time. Same thing for reservation. Hotel reservation, you reserve that room. Dinner table reservation. So that an appointment. Eat, out to eat. Party. I tend to sign party like this. Some people sign it party like this with P's. The more uniform it is, the more uniform the party is. This tends to be a lot more chaotic. So if you like your parties very straight-laced with tea and crumpets, then this is probably a party for you. If you like them a little bit more wild, you'll probably sign it more like this. Baseball. So when any activity can go on in this, do you mind if this activity we're going to do postpone, and if you remember from the previous chapter, prepone, which is, so here's the timeline, and here are dots along that timeline. If you pull it back with your dominant hand, your active hand, it means pulling it back in time, having it happen sooner. Postpone means having it happen later. So we don't really say prepone, but you get what it means. And then whatever you're asking for the change. Is it at time 4, a different time? Is it tomorrow, future, next week, next year? Never. I know we're supposed to go out on a date, but do you mind? Something's come up. Do you mind if we never go out? Phone. Okay, sorry for the phone call. I'm trying. I guess I just. Oh, again, it says identify the element. Can you tell I do these in batches? I'm not adding the other thing. Okay, so let's go back to here. Sorry. A little bit of chaos. All right, party, we did postpone, we did blah, blah, blah. So now making an indirect request. I had been talking about doing locations. So this is another thing where using space is a good practice and a good way of getting used to this. Imagine if you're saying, introducing a person, this is my mom's sister. Something as simple as that. Pronouns, especially possessive pronouns, and going back and forth between them can be really confusing in ASL until you get used to using your signing space. So this is my mom's sister. Pretty straightforward in English, but not really all that clear in ASL because all the information is happening right here. This, my mom's sister. My mom or her sister, whose sister? So think about you're setting up the two people. This, my mom. This, her sister. Okay, makes sense? So you want to keep track of who are the people you're talking about. So my mom, her sister, my aunt. Sorry, my desk is weird. Okay. My, her, his, her, right? And again, what's nice about ASL is that these are gender neutral. So there's no confusion with that. It's very easy to do. So this person, that person. There, my. So in this case, we're using a verb between them. So if I'm asking, do you mind asking her to ask me or to give me something? Asking her. So I'm pointing towards a person to give it to me. She's got to pay me, right? So we've got ask, and that can be in any direction, right? Tell. Tell's always going to come from your own mouth, right? Do you mind telling her, or do you mind telling her to tell me? Informing her she's fired. You calling her to come. Do you mind calling her, summoning her, or warning her I'm coming? All right. So then the last one is to give, to call. You can do this hearing thing. Tell. Order is different than tell. Tell is back of the hand. Order, giving an order or placing an order. I ordered that already. Inform. Show me, show you, show them. Come. Do you mind go? Do you mind telling her to go to you, to meet with you? Right. So hopefully this makes sense. And we're using the you signing space, the third person signing spaces, and the first person signing space. Once again, identify the ailment. All right, back to here. Okay. So then more activities that we can do in class. Like, again, a lot of this can come out of just simple conversation. Get the mindset of what you want to say, what you want to work through. Even recounting a story of, oh, these two people were talking. What did they say? And then back to the basic vocab and all of that stuff. So again, 14.8 is pretty short. Let's see, get phone calls. So yeah, that's it for 14.8. A nice little thing to practice that.